Welcome to Cardamone Law University, translating the Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Act into plain English for injured workers. It's Mike Cardamone here, and today I wanted to talk about nurse case managers. It's really important if you're an injured worker to look at the big picture and to consider who the players are. Yourself, the injured worker, you have the employer and their insurance carrier. You have your attorney, hopefully. If you don't, make sure you call us. You're making a big mistake navigating these turbulent waters on your own. We say that every podcast, pretty much, every episode. You'll make 2 or 3 times more with an attorney on your side, so make sure you call us if you're doing this alone. But and think about it, and you have a judge if you're in court. And you also have the doctors, right? You have the treating doctor. Well, in the first 90 days, it might be the panel doctor for the employer. But after that, you're free and you can treat with anybody you want. And then you'll have the independent medical doctor in many cases. And they're obviously quite biased. Everybody knows they're not independent. They're handpicked by the insurance company because many of them have a reputation for claiming everybody's recovered and their injury is over and it was a sprain and now they have arthritis and so on and so forth. That being said, there are some, what I believe are credible IME doctors who call it like it is, and that's the way it should be. But unfortunately, we're saturated with a lot of really biased IME doctors. In any event, so look at the big picture here. You have those players that I mentioned. You also have a nurse case manager. Who are they? They might be really friendly and small talk and pretend that they're looking out for your interest and try to get you set up with the right doctors, and especially in the beginning of a case. But they're hired by the insurance company. And the insurance company, what is their job? Their job is to pay out as little as they can on every claim. That's their job. And if you were working for them and you didn't work to achieve those ends, you'd be fired or demoted. So the nurse case manager, they're sort of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They might be friendly people. They might be really good people, and they probably are. But look at where their allegiance is. They're hired by and paid by the workers' comp insurance companies. And I really look at them as spies. And that doesn't mean you have to be hostile to them. That doesn't mean you have to be nasty. But you have to remember who they're working for and what their interests and where their allegiance is. And that's not with you. So don't be fooled by small talk about the Phillies or the Eagles or the Steelers or whatever's going on in the news. Again, they might be friendly people, but in terms of their job, they're trying to take money off of your table. And how do they do that? Well, they attend doctor's appointments, and they make it look like they have the right to do that. I'm not aware of anything in the law allowing them to attend your appointments. We also have HIPAA laws, and I'm not a HIPAA expert, but you have the right to see your doctor without anybody else in the room. So you got to keep that in mind. And they'll oftentimes try to get people back to work quickly. And how they do that, they try to influence the doctor in terms of either the care that you might need or restrictions for work or the lack thereof. So you really want to be smart. And usually the first thing I do when we are retained by an injured worker is, with their permission, we usually send a letter. And again, it doesn't have to be hostile. You keep it professional. But we usually send a letter saying their services are no longer needed. There are some unique cases where they might be beneficial. If it's a really complicated case and somebody doesn't have an attorney yet, sometimes it can be helpful in getting treatment set up in the beginning of a case. But again, remember what their job is and who hired them. So they're not on your team. We're on your team. We're the real only advocate you're going to have, other than perhaps your doctor and your family and friends. The judge, They're objective. Their job is not to be your advocate. The other attorney, their job is to discredit you and make everybody try to look like they're a liar. The insurance company, their goal is to pay out as little as they can. The independent medical doctor, we all know what they're about. So the nurse case manager, they're not your advocate either. All right. Injured worker attorneys like my firm, especially ones that are certified like myself, certified specialist, that's all we do primarily. And for myself, it's 100% of what I do. We're on your team, and remember that. So if you read about nurse case managers and you find information where you think they're going to help your case, or you have a nice rapport with one in your particular case and they're very friendly and nice, don't be fooled by that, all right? It's really important. If you have any questions on this, call us 215-206-9068. Again, you can always email me. It's Michael@cardamonelaw.com. So that's Michael, Mich,